Hi, my name is Yoya and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming to you from Brisbane Domestic Airport. I'm doing a bit of a commentary on the new Brisbane Airport. Today I came from the area where the air train comes in, multi-car park, and I found it so easy to get into the domestic airport. The reason being is they've got access to the terminal now from level 3, and I walked straight in through the doors there, and there's a sign that says carry on only. So if you only have carry-on luggage, this is great. It is fast access to the security station where you've got to get all your stuff scanned. Previously, I have been through Brisbane's security and you could waste a good 20 minutes just getting through the old system that they had, old technology, all of that kind of stuff. But when you come to the new stations, where they'll direct you to one of the new security stations for you to get all your items scanned, it was much easier. The flow was much easier. I only took about 4 minutes. I put the timer on my phone and it said 4 minutes from when I put my bucket onto the travelator to go through for security and for it to come at the other end. It's a big difference and a significant amount of changes. What I can say about the terminal is it's new, it's modern, it's bright. It's got, as you can see behind me, some plants, which is great. And on this video, I'm going to show you all the new features that are in this terminal. You wander around and it smells new. You know the new smell? I like new smell. But this terminal has a new smell. There are places to eat, there are places that you can chill out here. I'm sitting in the Virgin area where there is a whole heap of comfy chairs, a whole heap of places that you can actually plug in and charge your stuff. It's these little black boxes which you can see here. That's your charging stations. There's a whole heap of them all over the place. And it helps you to be able to charge your items before you get on a flight. And sometimes if you've got a few hours flight, you do want to make sure your battery's full. In the food court end, where you are in Virgin, you will still find your favourite area for food, which is McDonald's, all of those kind of takeaway places. So all the favourites for if you have kids, they're still here, but they seem to have much better frontages and looks a lot more modern.
The Australian Government has introduced additional aviation security measures at Brisbane Airport. We ask that you immediately report any suspicious persons, items or behaviour to airport staff, security or police. It is also important that you comply with any lawful directions made of you by security or airport staff. Brisbane Airport would like to thank you for your continued cooperation.
On my wander around the terminal, I'm going to show you all the new features, what is at each end. I'm going to go to the Qantas end and show you what's up the Qantas end. Then you've got in the middle, you've got Jetstar, and then you've got the Virgin end, which I'm at now. So I will be recording the whole way through and it'll give you a chance to see all these new features, the new shops. I started this journey on the ground floor where I'd returned to the hire car which I had for the past day. From here I start my walk from the multi-storey car park on level 3 where I head towards the terminal. As I'm walking down the ramp, you can see to my left the Qantas terminal that's in the distance. To my right, you can see the air train terminal, which is also located on level 3. This train runs between the airport and Roma Street in Brisbane. Looking to my right, you'll see the Virgin Terminal. The area that I'm looking for is the carry-on bags only. Once through this door, I can only go a short distance filming due to the security gates just beyond. Now that I'm through the security area, I'm going to turn towards the Qantas area. The cafe on the right looks brand new. I've passed a small Lego store. I passed a bookshop, which has also got a cafe there, and it all looks great. It looks fresh, it looks new. As I walk along the terminal towards the Qantas end of the airport, I've noticed that there are a lot of new shops. Several of the shops that are here have new frontages, but there's a lot of them that I have not seen in this airport before. I noticed that they had some high-end brands in the terminal, but they've also got some everyday brands. I've entered the Qantas food court, and as it being Christmas Day, I wouldn't expect a lot of things being open, but there were quite a few things that were open, and I got a chance to have a look around. I did like this gazebo looking area. The one thing I've noticed in the Qantas food court is that you can get different varieties of food, such as a burger, Mexican, Indian, Asian. There's cafes there. As you can see through this window, you've still got the area where you have to check in on the ground floor. We'll now leave the Qantas area and head towards the Jetstar section of the terminal. In this section of the airport is the Jetstar arrival and departure bridge. It's an area that I have never really stopped and taken some time to have a look at. Above the windows, I've noticed that they have a whole heap of pictures and information about Brisbane. I've never really stopped and looked at it. So I took some time today and had a look at some of the information, and it was quite interesting. So if you have some time and you are in the airport, stop and take a look, those little things. I'm now at the end of the Jetstar arrival and departure bridge, and in this area you have got some shops again. You've got the news agency, you've got a cafe, you've got a centre area where you can buy a variety of foods, and it also has a new look to this area too. I'm not sure if they've upgraded it, but I haven't been out in this area for several years now. Mostly I depart from the main terminal area. I had to cut a piece out of here. The reason being is that there was this little kid that kept on throwing itself in front of the camera as I was filming and laughing, and I just felt it was inappropriate to keep in there. To the left is the Virgin Lounge. On the right is where I sat, the introduction to this video. To my right, this is a new restaurant. I was amazed that this place was open as it being Christmas Day, and they were just packing up, so I didn't get a chance to try out any of the food, but it looked like they had a good variety of items on their menu, so maybe next time when I fly in, I should try it out. We're in the Virgin end of the terminal, and as you can see at the food court, there are several kinds of foods that you can get. Things like sushi, McDonald's, there's a cafe in the centre area. We can get coffees. There's also a Soul of Origin. The coffee shop on the right is another new shop. The news agency on the left has also got an upgrade to it. On this notice board, you will see photos of all the construction that has happened to the Brisbane Domestic Airport. In the terminal, one of the things that I have found is that there are a lot more shops on the side closest to the tarmac. On your left, there is another Lego store. This one is much bigger than the one in the Qantas area. Up ahead is the Newstead Brewery, and we've now come to conclusion of my look around the upgrades to the domestic airport. I hope you've enjoyed it. always remember that my videos are only a guide from my point of view. You have to make your own choices as to how you interpret or you take from these videos. Thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I see you next time.